Fair.
And we're live. And I'm not joking, we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello. This is Mimic Nights. Welcome to the party. We will be doing a giveaway today, which I'm excited for. We'll be giving away one of Shanalogic's Purpler Mimics chests, which I have one right here. So we've got one in gray and one in brown that we're giving away. Yeah, and we'll be doing that soon. Ooh, thank you, Than.
Whoa.
All right, cool. Let's get into this. Who are you guys? And let's start with Than.
Hey, I'm Thanrand, and I stream on Twitch sometimes at twitch.tv/Thanrand, and I play Krunk, who is half-orc barbarian and chief of his clan.
Yes, indeed.
And Metz, who are you?
Hi, I'm Metz Girl. You can find me over on the Twitters with the same name. I stream here on Tuesdays with you guys. And then I also am Zalara over in Beholder's Eye. And I have Service Desk as my other podcast.
And who's the last person?
Hi there, I'm Capjack, or Lucian, as I am here in the game, the Tiefling Warlock. And yeah, I am here on Welcome to the Party, on lots of different places, currently on the Mimic Night tonight.
Yeah. We should have the character Brenna run by, I think, Osama-chan? Onisama-chan? Yeah, hey,
yeah.
I got really close this time. And she'll be joining us later on tonight.
Yes.
And also, yeah, we'll be doing the giveaway. I don't know how what we want to. What do we want for the name for the giveaway to be? Just exclamation mark mimic. Does that sound good? Yeah.
This giveaway is a mimic.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a long one.
Let's just do mimic, just because. Yeah. Because I mean, I'd probably mess up spelling that. So. All right, and that is that. We're gonna get moving away. That's for one of them. We'll give away one of them before the break and one of them after the break. And let's get started. Last we left off with the crew. You guys were in the plains, where Krunk and his currently injured brother, adoptive brother, grew up. Krunk has just beat his mom at a wrestling match and taken leadership of the clan. And you guys had finalized your plans for a kind of side plot that I'd handed you of planting a castle like forever ago.
It's true.
We got there.
Yeah, you know,
We did it, Reddit.
tangled with a Ithalid clan basically, and went to the Fey Woods and all kinds of stuff.
You're the worst, Than.
Nah.
Yeah. So why don't you guys tell me what you want to do? I would assume this is the day after, because last we left off was late night partying into the night, but I imagine this would probably be the next day. And actually, why don't you remind me how, based on how much you did in the last session and then whatever you imagine your character would have done after that, how much alcohol did you have the night before?
All of it.
Okay.
They didn't
I'm
all
with-
of it.
Yeah. Denise would have
Lucian would have had less.
Okay.
Less than all of it.
Do you want to roll those who think it's appropriate? I'm going to leave it up to your discretion. Those who think it appropriate, roll a con save. And I'm going to leave the number up to you, like what it means. Entirely up to you. Just tell me what you got and what you think it should mean.
Well, okay.
So Crunk gets a 13 on it. What do you think that means? What should it mean?
I think it just means that he's got a pretty killer headache, but otherwise just kind of like me in real life for the last 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'm really out of it, by the way.
Okay. Lucian got a total of a 20, and apparently he didn't drink that much that night before anyway, so he's probably doing golden, right?
Oh, he's perfectly fine. Yeah, surprisingly so. Like he drank a lot of not quite his usual fare type of alcohol yesterday during the event and things, but apparently it wore off on him.
This is the good stuff.
And
Yes.
Denise got a total of a 15, I'm seeing.
Yes. I think she's doing okay. Maybe like slept in a little bit longer than she would have.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
otherwise,
You guys
she's
have the luxury of you don't have a real job, so you can just sleep in until you feel better. So like yeah, like 15, that's a good chunk above average. Even 13 is above average. Like yeah, you just guys have a longer than normal morning and are, a little bit slower. You're just like, just take it slow, take it easy. Probably be fine. Along with Crunk's father, having gone quite adept at healing this particular ailment, goes around and just like taps people on the head, releasing a small little magical spark, and then handing you like a handful of unknown dark colored leaves to chew on, which are quite bitter but cure the hangover quite well.
Nice.
All right, and where are you going? What do you want to do? And hey, here's my out for the reason that Brenna is out.
Wouldn't it be Win?
Or sorry, Win. Yeah,
Win.
Win is out. Win is taking that long morning. Yeah, completely wasted and is not getting up. Because as far as like this is the one thing, if we know anything about Win, is that she likes to party. So yeah, that's what's happening with Win.
Okay.
All right. Stage to you guys. What happens?
Lucian has been, up the entire night since he doesn't sleep anymore. He's been talking to people of the tribe. He's trying to get an idea of who they are, their drives, things like that. So he's been doing a lot of information gathering.
Do you want to do those conversations or do you want a summary?
Let's just summary.
Okay. What are your questions? What are you particularly aiming at?
Who their enemies are in the region, who their friends are in the region, interactions they have with. Oh, go ahead.
So
sit
enemies.
Sit rep, yeah.
A general way that the tribes carry themselves is they never keep enemies around because they have no self-control as far as going to battle. So they never hate anyone for very long because they either die or kill them. So they never have any true enemies. There's just, they're always eager to get into a fight. So nearby people around are threats or challenges, but not true enemies. What was your next question after that one?
Allies.
Allies? Also, not really. If they were allies, they would just merge the tribes.
Fair.
They don't like complexity.
Nah,
Yeah, they're like, why
This
don't we
is gonna
just
be different.
live in the same spot? So yeah.
fair. I guess next would be interactions and I guess general contacts with the towns and things like that.
They have learned that the towns have a very short memory as far as who they are. Like, 1 month they can do a bunch of raiding and attack the towns, and they just gotta wait like a month or two until the towns forget who they are because they can't tell the tribes apart, and then they can go out and hire themselves out to a town to go do a job for them.
Nice.
And so they just bounce around to whatever is currently most convenient. What was your next question? Oh, and
I guess
they think that the cities are pretentious, and they don't like them.
well, they're not wrong. I guess nearby tribes that they're, I guess, in a tenuous peace with just because it's not worth the effort. Basically, who are we going to go talk to next? I know there were tieflings mentioned.
Oh, yeah, the Tiefling tribe is farther up north. They've situated themselves on a notable piece of high ground. And their leader is an actual demon. Who leads them through a combination of brute strength and tact, which allows their relatively small numbers keep them alive, because they are smart and they've chosen very favorable terrain.
Do they know who that demon is, by chance?
No, I don't. Because the thing is,
Well-
he's literally the only demon in the entire plains, so he's the demon.
Oh, well,
Like-
that'll do it.
Yeah,
Yes, it's not normal to have demons.
yeah. So they just call him the demon.
Simple, effective, got it.
Yeah.
Any other notable tribes?
Over to the east, there are some large, cavalry-based tribes. So kind of horsemen sort of tribes over to the east. And also more of them to the west, but kind of the central area is mostly, walking basically based, tribes. They don't care about
Okay.
mounts.
So kind of like a steppes culture kind of thing?
Kind of, yeah. But this area is a bit more hilly and a little bit more rocky, and so the horses and other mounts don't do as well here. So they stay out of this area. And up north is more forested and also has some pretty good mines up there. And so it's a more tumultuous area. There's more active conquest against each other because there's actual valuable resources to be had, whereas this area is more just mediocrely prosperous. So like they have enough food as long as they occasionally raid a town or something, and they have enough anything that they could want, really. This is the place where competent but not extremely ambitious tribes hang out. And sometimes tribes will migrate up north if they want to go get something cool. But this is kind of the vacation-y area for tribes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And
they're not
next
aware of
south
any notable
is-
important tribes in the immediate area.
Anything south?
South, they are relatively close to the borders as far as things go. So south, there's just a couple more like small tribes wandering around. Eventually, you just start hitting civilized land.
Okay.
Yeah. I will have soon a lineup of, like, probably before the session is over. Cast Mike Lydia, thank you very much for the 400 bits. It's very nice.
Thank you.
100 more, and you can give somebody a advantage. Which I'm still holding on to the one that I was given before. Oh yeah. Probably before the end of this session, you guys will encounter someone who actually intelligently list out the relevant tribes to you guys. But these guys don't care so much. If they haven't seen them or aren't currently fighting them, they don't really care.
Yeah, fair.
And there we go. Thank you very much. 100 more bits and advantage to Denise.
Hey, yay!
Woohoo!
Yeah, wonderful. And okay, is that everything you want to ask? Because yeah, you get the whole night. You are talking with a bunch of drunk savages.
You're talking with a bunch of crunks.
Yeah, a bunch of crunks who are extremely
I got
inebriated.
a lot for this conversation.
Yeah, no, like
You did.
this is
Yeah,
all
exactly.
you get throughout the entire night, and you get like
I think that's a lot.
yeah, you
Considering.
keep wandering around to someone, you start a conversation with them, and they'll like pass out or forget what you're talking about, and you have to start over or just find someone else.
Yeah.
The only person you find one notably like person who's good
Erudite?
at talking, yeah, which is one of the trolls. I'm gonna say, as far as this world, part of troll regeneration, they don't really get drunk very easily. They require much more intense stuff, which this is stuff that they stole from the cities, so it's not going to be strong enough. Something troll made
Sure.
will get them drunk and then also kill a human if they drink it. But
Acceptable level.
so yeah, so he's like sitting around just kind of like leaning against the big stone pillar that you guys competed around before, and it's just like sitting around keeping watch because everyone else is drunk. He's just watching to make sure they don't get ambushed. And so you have a good conversation with him. He's not super smart and he's not super interested, but he actually carries a conversation with you.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Cool. Crunk or Denise, who do you think wakes up first?
Probably me.
Yeah?
I'm
Okay.
guessing.
All right. You're woken up to the smell of cooking meat.
Meat. What kind of meat? Do I smell bacon? Sausage?
You can't tell anything particular. You wake up. Hang on. Yeah, you wake up in a tent.
Okay, good.
Laying down. You seem to have missed like the bed mat, so you're just laying face down in the dirt. But you smell that. You see there's an orc over, like curled up in the corner. His bed mat is like wrapped around his body like 3 times. He's just like arms bound to his chest, to his body. He's just like and
Oh my. What kind of night did I have in here?
Well,
and yeah, you smell food being made outside.
We're just gonna skip over that part. And I'm gonna go outside and eat some meat.
You would find Crunk's mother is standing there. She is chewing on a very large wad of whatever this hangover cure herbs are. But she has a very, very large wild boar on
Oh my.
a spit, piercing it entirely head to toe, and is rotating it. It has already been skinned, is rotating it over fire and just shaving off the outside onto platters and then handing them off to whoever's nearby so that they can have food.
Excellent. So,
What does Denise know about cooking? I imagine she's decent.
probably like this kind of cooking would be really familiar, actually, because if you're out in the forest and you're
Yes.
just, this would be like her kind of cooking. Like having a stove and an oven would be kind of weird for her.
Yes. However, your people would have known that the way that this person is cooking is very likely to get you sick. Like that is pork that is just being like vaguely cooked by like sight, and
Right.
she's just cutting it off as people approach. She's just like, oh yeah, it's probably ready enough, and just chops off a bit and here, you want food?
So I will take a chunk and then I'm going to find a stick and cook it a little bit more.
All right. And then Crunk, you get up. Yeah, okay. You did not get yourself to a tent. You're laying outside in like I know where you are. You are laying in a puddle of what remains of that barrel that was opened.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
We are filthy. Excellent.
Yes.
Not a cuddle puddle.
Some of you are.
Lucian's doing all right. Like, he's a tiny bit dirty because he did get knocked on the floor a couple times during the games. But,
Sure.
like, that's a...
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah.
He's pristine.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, and you walk out, you see that your mom is cooking food, and she immediately hands you a very large plate.
And I eat all of it
Awesome.
without question.
So you're all gathered together again. Do you want to trade any information or finalize your plans in any way? Be sure you know what you want to do.
Yes, Lucian would wander over to them. Would he have eaten yet? No, I guess he would wait for everyone else to eat.
Okay.
Okay.
And then,
Lucian, don't eat it straight off the pig. Like, cook it a little bit more over the flames, because it's not gonna be good, man. Not good.
It's fine for me.
noted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Trunk's mother would tell you that you better get some now, else you won't get any. Because as soon as everyone's done grabbing some, they hand it off to the trolls, and then they just
Go at.
yeah. So, would you like
Yeah,
some?
so, yes.
All right. She cuts you off one of the last pieces that are easily accessible and hands it off to you. You would also note it has not been gutted.
Yeah, no, then he's going to use his dagger and cook it further.
Okay.
Good call.
And yeah, then there's two trolls in this tribe. They take it, they rip it in half, and one half goes to one half goes to the other, and very soon there's nothing left. No bones, no nothing. It's all gone.
Okay.
He's also
then.
going to feed a little bit of it, to his mimic racer.
Very cool.
Oh, I guess you would have been feeding that the whole time, huh?
Yeah, it's been getting little
thought-
bits of food, you know, because like
Goblin.
he eats with a fork because he's a proper aristocrat, or at least pretends to
Fancy
be.
bastard.
And so as he uses the fork, it just like everyone so just leaps out and just snatches something off of his plate.
It's like a cat.
Yeah.
It's like a mimic cat. It's a mimic cat now. Okay, cool.
All right.
It's all good. Mimic cats are great.
Yeah, they are.
So I don't mean to be pushy, but when are you guys gonna do that castle thing? We're quite eager to see what you claim is gonna happen. Like, that sounds
We
quite
are too.
extraordinary.
We are
So
excited too.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
they say
kinda
there's
decided-
no time like the present.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. That hill over there, you were saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sure.
And
It's
so
the best hill you have. Absolutely.
the entire tribe drags itself over there to observe. And they're just like gathered in a half circle around the hill. They're just like watching. They're just, all right, go.
I don't know if that's
Just-
far enough back. I don't know how big this castle is going to be, guys.
We can run. We're fine.
Okay.
It's like quietly to the others. I really hope this looks really flashy when it happens. Otherwise, that'd be a bit awkward. But what you gonna do? So I guess he'll take the mimic crystal out.
It's
and,
just like a bouncy castle inflating.
It takes forever to blow up. It's going to be really cool. Just wait.
Give it 10 more minutes, guys. I swear. It's
A
gonna
few
be
more
awesome.
minutes, and you will be very impressed.
Then yeah, Lucian's gonna take the crystal and I guess move to the center of the hill and set it on the ground.
Did we have to say something or do a thing?
We have to play the hit Ed Sheeran song "Castle on the Hill" for the magic to work.
I am sadly not in touch with Ed Sheeran.
Oh, it's like one of his good ones. It's fine.
All right,
Mostly not.
I
but that was good.
motion the others over. All right, everyone, put your hands on it. This might help, or it might just look really good for them.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, and I put my
Is
meaty
anything happening?
big hand.
Nope. It's
Do your let's do your talk to the mimicking thing.
Yeah.
Right.
maybe?
I want to talk to Mimic and say, and I guess in Mimic to it,
yep.
and say, we'd like to make the castle here.
We also want it to look really cool when it happens.
Plants in the earth.
Plant it? Oh,
Oh, okay.
sure.
Dig
Denise
up the
takes a
earth.
dagger out.
Yeah. So yeah, just do a quick one. Your little hole. You're able to put it down, cover it up, and it's entirely concealed. It's only like 5 inches tall. Like it's this little crystal spike.
I'm thinking like this, like
Yeah, no. It's this little thing. Put it in. Do you stand back?
I step back.
It's your choice. And-
no.
No? All right.
Lucian's going for a ride.
Where's Crunk standing?
To the battlements.
I would back up with
Okay.
Denise.
Lucian would be the only person to see this so far because it's pretty small, but you just see kind of pop out like a like one of those little half circle rubber things that bounce, it's just like pop, and then it's there like that.
Oh yeah.
And you see pop, there's just a single solitary stone brick on the ground, and then
Excellent.
out from the side of it, pop, there's a second one, and then both of them duplicate, and then all four
you're
of
doing
those
wonderfully.
duplicate,
Yes.
and then
good,
all
good,
of
good.
those duplicate, and then they begin to gain verticality and assemble a single room, and then that room duplicates, and this time it goes out in the direction of Lucian and like envelops him in, and the bricks move around him, allowing him in, so he's now standing inside, and then those rooms begin to duplicate, and it just kind of unfolds itself out of itself continually for about 7 minutes. It's someone dropped.
Bye, Jack.
Oh, there he's back.
Hi, Jack.
Hello,
Hey,
you there?
we're
You're
good.
there. Okay,
Yep, I'm here.
cool. And it unfolds itself for just a few minutes. First, just gaining mass, just making just this like giant cube of rooms, and then they start to slide each other around and gain shape and take on design. It gets kind of a classic just fortress design with a turret at each corner and a central fort in the center with open courtyard surrounding it, and expands out and upward about 150 feet in the air and about I'd say 80 feet front and back, front to back and side to side. And then after a bit, then a very large gate forms itself on the front, and it appears to sit still. And the last little motion is a flag unfurling itself on the top peak.
Cool.
Cool.
So,
Speaking of unfurling.
Lucian, you're
So-
standing inside of a approximation of the Mimic King's throne room with 6 seats.
ooh. I guess I'm going to speak to the castle, and I'm going to start walking forward. Front gate, please.
The door that you're going through opens for you, and you walk out of the front gate.
Perfect. So yes, it's going to
Fireworks in the
stand
background.
inside. Well, I guess just open the front gate and just like.
The Mimic Castle tries to help you with your whole putting on a show and roars. the castle
Strut out. Just with your hands out.
Yeah. And then the castle roars at the tribe. And let me see their response. Yeah, they are shocked by this. Because like they've never seen a structure this large at all. And then it moved and yelled at them. And they're quite shocked and like kind of scurry back a little bit. Some of them like move forward drawing weapons like, oh boy.
I just look at them like, hey, he's alright. Do you not trust your chief?
Oh, okay.
I pat the castle. Oh, that was excellent. Well done.
And the next thing you see is a bit of a sparkle, about 6 feet tall, in a cylinder that's about 2 feet in diameter, appearing next to, or like a little bit close to Lucian.
Oh.
Oh.
There's a
Oh.
And then forming within it is a humanoid shape of a well-dressed man. Lucian, you would recognize he carries just almost like Boy Scout pins. Like or what are they?
Merit badges.
Merit, yeah. But but what they are is they are the insignias of the many guilds of the cities, signifying that he's a representative of them, and that he's a representative for each one that he has a badge for.
Oh.
So
Okay.
these
I see.
signify who he represents and who he does not represent, who he is speaking for. And
I see.
this man appears here
represent
and
the
says,
lollipop. Yeah. Sorry.
"Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
We have been informed that this would happen.
Oh.
We
You
are.
want to do?
I am here to represent numerous guilds within the United Cities to open up a line of communication and give our initial greetings and welcome into the world as a formal entity.
Thank you very much. Who do I have the pleasure of addressing?
My name is Makaris.
Makaris.
I represent 273 of the guilds. All
That-
major law guilds are accounted for by my presence.
Excellent to know. We are honored by their presence as well.
We would like to know, what is your intent setting up a presence here? What statement would you like to make? And what do you claim to yourself? And he kind of takes a step back. He seems to be restricted to this tiny little glowing cylinder that he's standing in. But he kind of takes a step back to indicate, to wait for your response.
We all see this, or just him?
All of you do. The tribe as well. They're all like, what the heck? Is that part of the castle thing?
Gotcha.
Yes, it comes complete with random dudes. Sidebar?
Take your
Or
time.
do we know what we're about?
Yes, a quick sidebar.
Sidebar.
What is sidebar?
Just come over here and whisper with us.
So while you talk, several of the tribesmen are going to try and poke at this man and
Okay.
see what he's about, and they just reach through and their hands pass through him. He appears to not be actually there.
Aha. Holograms. They're great. Okay, so what do we want to officially say?
Well, Krunk, you're actually the ranking member here at the moment, being
true.
a chieftain of the tribe. What is your vision for the tribe?
I hadn't really thought of it. I know that we are here to find little. Is that enough for him?
I doubt it'll be enough for him. They will, regardless of our answer, they'll assume ulterior motives of every kind. So,
Is he a good guy?
subtlety is not going to work. No, definitely not. But he's
Well-
not. He's not either. Good is relative in this respect. He is, in his mind and the mind of the 273 others around him, important. So they're going to either be a problem now or later. Preferably later.
Yeah.
I do not have problem.
Good.
So we're here to gather mimics and
Bring them home. Which is not
Help
here. It is.
tribe.
By saying that, that will open up a line to the Mimic King himself, and let's not do that if at all possible. Also, sidebar of the sidebar, we're all speaking Mimic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Real
We're not
quick, let's
speaking
before
in
we get back into that, everybody. So we're gonna start up the giveaway. So as soon as
Hey.
Throck pops up, it should pop up in the chat when it's open. For you to type in !mimic to enter in.
Mimic.
Yeah. There we go. It's up. Thank you very much, thank you very much, Throck, for setting that up. And type it in to join. Thank you very much. All right, back to you guys. And yes, you are speaking Mimic this whole time, I would assume. Krunk might not even know that, because he never learned this language. It's like you learn a language, he just knows it instinctually.
I just hear what they're saying and say it the same way.
Yeah, you're just yeah.
Being not intelligent enough to.
I'm not good at this part. I'm good at leading war party and fighting. I'm not good at talking.
Fair, I can handle that part just fine. I speak their language fluently.
You speak it better than I do.
I do not speak flatulently.
After about 12 drinks last night, I definitely disagree, but not here nor there at the moment. I think the best thing to do would be to say we're here peacefully, which they will, of course, take as this being an act of aggression, being on their lands. Not that it's their lands, but...
It's not their lands, it's our lands.
Exactly. We're here as emissaries of the plains, and this is the current chieftain of this region. We are here under trying to figure out how best to phrase this, where we are as
Well,
direct
our
without being
plans
direct
don't-
as possible.
Our plans don't matter to them, right? Like we don't care what they
Yes,
do.
but
We just do what
how
they
we
do.
say it is important at the moment.
We just say we don't want to talk to you right now. We just want to do our thing. It don't matter.
That will go very poorly. That will have an army on our doorstep
They-
as soon as possible.
They don't like the
Which-
truth. I don't understand.
I don't
Wasn't
understand a
them
lot of
bringing
city
an
stuff.
army your plan? Did you want them to
Mhm.
bring an army so you can get the tribes together? Because the tribes will never unite. That I think that was established last session. I might be mistaken. That the tribes will never unite if there's not a single unified enemy.
True.
You know what? I think we need an additional voice in this matter, so why don't we take a brief break and bring in One Sama-chan and...
Oh, she's ready? Okay, sweet.
Yep.
Awesome. Give me 1 second to
Timing!
set that up. Sweet. There, and...
Yes. Let me know what it is, Bria.
Yeah, we want to know. Type it in chat.
Yeah, we're live.
Hey!
Hey! Oh, hello!
All right,
Nice
cool.
of you to show.
And real quick, Thraka's gonna do the drawing. We'll pull that out and see who won that. And let me see. Who did it?
Did what?
I'm watching. We're doing the
Who
giveaway,
won?
and we're gonna see who won.
Oh, okay.
Last chance to type it in. And so narratively, Win, you guys partied last night. You remember that? And you were have a notable hangover. And that's why you're joining the party late.
That reminds me of the other morning.
Jim Debison has won. Yeah, speak up and sweet. Cool.
Yay, good job.
The best way to get in contact with me is to get into the Discord, and I'll talk with you, and I'll get your information so we can do that. Yeah.
Hey, congratulations!
Yes. Congratulations.
Yay!
And we'll do another one after we do our actual break.
Rigged! Just kidding.
We don't even know who that person is.
Right?
How can we rig it?
Mimics.
That's the joke. Every time I'm in a channel that does a giveaway and someone else wins, I say rigged. That's what I do.
I never win anything. Oh, okay.
You have won our affection, though.
No, we know them.
Oh, do
know
we?
them.
Oh, okay, got it. By Sonic.
Oh,
Okay, got
hey!
it. Oh,
All
okay,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Sweet,
They were being a mimic. They were
They were a
disguising
mimic.
themselves.
I told you, Chad's a mimic.
I appreciate that.
Cool. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, talk to me after the stream, and we'll do that. All
Okay,
right.
okay.
So, Win, you drag yourself out of bed and make your way over to where you see the crowd of the entire tribe and your 3 companions are over near the hill, and you see this big, like, compared to the actual mimic castle, it's like an eighth of the size, maybe. But it's a very cool looking mimic castle that is right there on that hill. And you also see this like sparkly cylinder that contains a very fancy man with which looks like a sash just full of like little emblems. Which is this dignitary who is coming to represent the cities and the guilds within them. And you see your 3 companions are huddled over together doing a like football huddle talking.
Okay, so
you just walk in at this point in the conversation.
all right, so I guess I'm just gonna like kind of toddle over, like, hey guys, what's up?
Oh, Win, perfect timing.
Win.
We are just about to utterly terrify and infuriate the city folk.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Do you want me to go for maximum effect? I mean, really.
Well, I mean, we're gonna fight them, right?
Oh, yes.
Like, a lot?
A lot.
You might as well go big then. You know, go big or go home.
Excellent.
We are home.
Anyone got anything to...
I have extra
Aesthetic.
of the stuff, and I give her some of my stuff.
So
my father makes.
Crunk hands you just this like pile of assorted leaves and twigs.
Eat this. You'll feel better. I promise. It's gross, but you'll like it.
Okay, I pick out the twigs.
That's part of it. That's part of it. You have to eat that part too. Eat it. There you go. There you go. Yes, there you go.
So it's this super bitter stuff that like balls up into this kind of gummy chunk that you just cannot chew away. It's like gristle out of meat where it's just you just keep chewing. It's like, come on. And
The swallow is fine.
it's super bitter,
Don't get that
but
very often.
instantly starts to make your hangover begin to recede a bit.
Well, at least it worked.
I told you, it always works.
I don't usually have hangovers.
Well,
Anyway, so go big or go home. Go.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
okay. Let's go talk to Dracaris.
Right then. I will reapproach.
All right.
Makaris, thank you for your patience.
Yes.
We are the representatives of the Plains tribes. We are a sovereign nation.
His face is already going like sour, just like, oh no, I'm gonna have to tell my boss this.
And while we have appreciated the exploitation of the cities of the tribes for many, 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 many years, and as he's talking, so his features are shifting into when he was that death avatar,
Mm-hmm.
like slowly.
Okay.
So that won't stand any more. Thank you, and have an incredibly wonderful life.
This is the official response of the entirety of the plains. All tribes are in accordance.
Oh, yes.
Very well. And you can see at this point he's gone past being like upset and he's now just nervous. He's scared he might die by reporting this to his bosses. So he's like, very well. And just
Good luck, dude.
instantly disappears. It's gone. And just at that moment, you see Krunk's mother just charges and it was about to like try and decapitate him. Ah, dang it.
It wouldn't have worked anyway. He wasn't really here.
Oh.
Oh, that was brilliant, though. I loved that. Oh, and he fixes his face.
Yeah,
This is just horrible. And he's like, very good job. And it's like,
I'll bet.
Indeed.
all right. Well,
Is it an ood?
I guess if you
love
just
you.
claimed that all of the
Ouch.
tribes are in accordance, you had better go.
We'd better go get them in accordance, huh?
Yeah. Well, the thing
was
is,
just thinking
they
that.
won't until the first like enemy troops
Battle.
begin to march in. So you've got time before you really can do anything.
I mean, at the very
we can
least,
go
we
tell
could
them
send
that it-
messengers, right?
I would suggest that you go and assure yourselves, and looking at each of you, she's not really sure where you come from, Lucian, but like the rest of you is like, you should probably go check in with your peoples and make sure that they end up on the right side of this conflict.
so
Okay.
do the other tribes have a similar type of system of determining their leader? Or is it
Almost
just us?
almost exclusively they have that system.
Might
There-
makes right.
Yeah, there's some exceptions, but they're rare and
I just
notable.
make sure Krunk has that ace in the hole. Say no, and then it's just they will deny. Challenge you.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm still trying to get.
Yeah,
All
can you
right.
please.
Well then,
I'm one of those people that just like it takes
Denise.
me like 3 hours to like find the right position to.
I never find it. Just it never
Well,
happens.
before we do that,
Great.
Denise, question for you.
Yes.
So, we haven't heard much of your people aside from your mother. Is there
Mhm.
anyone?
Well, they're mostly hidden in the woods. My druid kin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not very many of them, but we could certainly head in. I don't know how close are the woods to here, Shogun.
That's a pretty big distance. You'd have to travel to one of the major cities. That would be the fastest way to get there. They are what
Not so much now.
if you went straight from where you're at to your home, you would just plop straight through the deep wood.
Oh, yeah, we probably don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We're on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we would have to go back through the deep wood if we went straight. Otherwise, it's probably a few days ride. Several days? I
Yeah.
don't know.
It, depending on method of travel, could range between a week and a month. If you're going particularly slow, like it's, yeah, walking. It's not a great trip.
Oof.
Yeah. Okay. And how about you, Win? I suppose we do need to go back and speak to your family
Yeah.
about Sebastian. If they remember. Oh, this is going to be complicated.
You all hear
Well, he's on the wall.
you all hear a familiar voice of the keeper.
Keeper, there you are.
You see, the entrance hall has been converted into the dark black matter that makes him up. If you would come inside, I have a few things to. You have pending messages, so to speak.
Ah, excellent.
Oh boy, everybody likes mail.
Oh, Castle, don't eat any of them, please. They're our friends.
Yeah, these
We
are
like
good people. These are our people. They are good.
It just settles with just slamming the door closed and not letting anyone in.
That is also acceptable.
We'll work on this.
Good enough for now.
Do not eat them.
This castle is also kind of like a finicky cat. Like it's like, I like you guys. I don't know about these other people.
I love this
Okay.
castle so much.
I like that.
So the keeper says that first of all, the castle is entirely yours to design and reshape as you wish. There is a plaza room already set up for you.
Excellent. We
Excellent.
need to attune
I
to
love a
that.
good plaza.
Nice.
The mimic that was sent to go to the Dwarven Halls to connect with their plaza has done so and is on his way to go touch the plazas of the other cities so you guys have a full array to transport between.
Excellent. That'll be useful.
Such a good boy.
There's also connection to the treasure room, direct connection to the treasure room in the main castle from here. But you can't just walk between here and the main castle. You'd have to use either the plaza or actually physically travel there. But they can sort of share rooms. And certain things can be transported through them if they're specially designed for it, like the treasure room is. As well as the Mimic King will find it trivial to communicate with you here. This is basically a radio tower. Anywhere in proximity to
nice.
it will allow you to communicate with him very easily.
Repeat the signal.
Oh man, imagine if like we gave everyone a little mimic symbol, and like when they need us, they can just like light a fire and like and there's like a big old mimic on the sky, and we're like, our people need us.
We could do it.
Theoretically, it's not that hard.
What would the symbol be? Like just a giant M in the sky?
Yes,
Angry mimic mouth. Just
it's a mouth. It's just a mouth.
Like the
Oh,
lips
God,
from
just
the beginning
the
of
Rocky Horror Picture
Yeah,
Show.
yeah.
That would be terrifying.
now this is an entirely different kind of party.
Okay.
We keep getting off
Pending
topic.
messages.
Yeah, we gotta go get our message.
Other than that, the Mimic King has determined the general area in which the person who sent the intruder, his daughter, is. But it is a dangerous place to go, and actually has a couple fables about it, although he does not remember them. So if anyone you would like, you could roll history, or
Oh,
you do have a tool on you that also can solve it, but I won't tell you what tool it is.
Like you partially cut out. What exactly?
Sorry.
exactly
So you can roll a history, but also you have an item on you that can tell you the information about this place. But I'm not going to tell you what that thing
That
is.
has to do with what? That's the part I missed. Sorry.
It has to do with the location where the Mimic King's daughter is.
Thank you. Okay.
And that is up in the north. It's called Isangura.
An item.
Yes, you have a
Write anything
thing.
down for this campaign. You should maybe start writing things down for this campaign.
I mean, you can if you want. I don't.
I don't write things down because
I
Crunk
wrote
is
down
wrong.
that date for that thing earlier. Other than that,
Lucian's gonna start flipping through that Journal of the Forgotten
Okay.
and see if that's referenced at all.
No, it is not.
right.
But I am going to tell you you're on kind of the correct track.
I've got 2 halves of a coconut.
No, that is that does not help you. You should probably roll the history check.
I love that you wrote that down.
A 19, that's pretty good. I imagine Crunk's not even gonna try.
I'll do it at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
It's a 6. Cap check gets a 9.
I would have had it.
Yeah. You would have had a chance.
Yeah.
Denise has no clue.
Because it is kind of folklore sort of thing, but no. Okay, so when you know about Istangura, it is a kind of mythical temple up in the mountains far up north. It is known as it's this mysterious place. It's believed that across the earth across the world there are 4 cardinal locations in the world, and each of them can only be found by someone who already knows where it is, similar to Tortuga. And this Istangura is one of those cardinal locations. It is a pinned location of the universe that is an absolute, whereas everything else swims around in relative motion. And
Like dark matter. Is that it?
I don't know. Let's not get in there because then I'm just gonna make myself sound stupid. But so it is the most renowned thing is it's supposed to be this temple of infinite knowledge, or at least grand knowledge. But also it's a cardinal location, which means you can only go there if you're shown how to go there by someone who knows how to get there.
So I don't know how to get there, but I know
True.
of it.
You know of
and
it.
I know that that's how to get there.
Yeah, and you know that there's probably maybe 1 or 2 people in these lands that would know how to get there, if you're lucky.
Is one of them a dwarf?
That
If we
would
go there and
be a separate history check, and also that would be pretty tough because there's a lot
So
of
many
dwarves.
There's
There's a lot of dwarves.
Well, you know.
If you went there, you could probably ask somebody. That would be
That's
a
what I
bit
was thinking.
easier to do.
And to just think about it.
Yeah.
No, I don't go places. I sit in my mimic castle and I think really hard about it and hope that that works.
Okay.
So
Sounds good to me.
Istangura, not Constantangura.
Not
Okay.
Constantinople.
No.
You can't go back there.
To
It's not even-
Istanbul.
It's not our business anyway.
Yep.
So are you telling us all this? So we all know about this? You told us all
That's
this?
up to Win, yeah. So yeah,
Yes, I
Win
told
tells
this.
you know that is a place you cannot get to unless you know how to go there.
Okay, so who knows how to get to Eva Longoria?
That doesn't even sound remotely similar.
I love it.
I mean,
I'm trying to think of like what else he would have it.
Who would know?
Like the only other book that he's had access to is the
I mean,
Book
I've
of
got-
Rhymes and stuff.
Do you want to
But
look in that
Maggie
book?
Maggie has it. Remember?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a ring.
Who is Maggie?
I have a ring too.
Maggie is
Maggie's
the
the beholder.
beholder.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know if you remember
Oh!
that.
Yeah, I remember it now.
Is
Yeah.
there any way
Yeah.
that Maggie could come and visit here?
Do you want to? Are you just asking that question to the air?
Yeah.
Yes.
The keeper
the
says we could set up a superior link between the plaza here and the plaza in the Mimic Castle.
Ooh,
Perfect.
yes.
Probably a good idea.
It will take
Well,
but
yes.
a moment. Give me a minute. And he disappears, and you're now left in the kind of mudroom entrance hall of the castle.
You guys
Because
want to make
whatever
it pretty in
room-
here?
Whatever
We
room he
should totally
envelops
make it
kind of
pretty
loses
here.
all its features and just becomes this dark room that he occupies. And so when
Can't
he
we
leaves, you're like, oh, you're in the mudroom.
We can shape it though, can't we?
Yep, you can shape
To
it however you want.
anything.
Yep, it is.
All right, let's make it nice in here. Do you guys like wood paneling?
Like, yes, please,
I like it.
please add a lot of shiplap.
Would Denise like wood paneling? She's a druid, but
And it would keep
No.
live edges. Very important.
They take a chance to try and do what you want. They grow into a single connected sheet of wood, as if it's
That's honestly
never
better.
it's not a cut piece of wood like someone took and chopped and planed down to have a panel of wood and built a wall out of it. It's like a tree grew into walls.
That is
That's
better.
ooh, like with bark.
Better than
Yeah.
what I wanted.
I want the entire castle.
But like
to be-
very fine, nice, smooth bark.
That's
Like a birch bark.
fantastic.
real smooth.
And there's like
That's a brilliant
Um,
idea. We could make the entire thing look like
Like
a
a tree?
living piece. Oh.
and so
you say a
there's like a
How do we want it to look from outside? What message do we want to send with it?
We're trying to be intimidating, right?
you guys don't see it, but outside it changes.
Crip?
So we're really confusing Krunk's tribe right now.
Yeah, they're outside going, holy crap!
They're losing their minds right now.
Yeah, they've all sat around and made
Ripped?
popcorn. They're watching.
I'm glad that popcorn exists.
Me too.
I mean, it's not that hard.
I
Basically,
guess
you need
I was
a
about to say it's
pot
not
and
that
corn. That's
to
about it.
Make a little oil.
Yeah.
I think one of the most imposing things it could be is look non-defensive because it doesn't need to be.
What if it looked like just a giant tree on the outside?
Like Wicker.
Or Wicker. Wicker is good.
No.
Oh. Like
What if
it-
not that?
like,
No.
But
no.
the door is wicker, and there's like windows in the
For
tree.
a second, I thought you said that what if it looked like brie? That would be soggy.
Just a
Not
wedge of
fun.
cheese.
Giant cheese wheel.
That would smell bad.
Well, it wouldn't smell bad.
The city army arrives and just goes, "What are we looking at here? What? I don't understand."
And the castle's going from wood to stone to wicker to cheese.
Yeah, no, outside they're just going, what?
There are people
Okay,
in the city
okay.
with spyglasses like, what the fuck?
Oh goodness. No. Don't want it to look like cheese. Oh gosh.
So yeah, this
Sorry.
it's very
like this.
literal when the castle it's very literal that the castle will change at your whim.
Oh god, this is too much. Okay. We gotta come up with an actual idea, guys.
I like the
I have a
idea
question for
of
Krupp.
I like the brick of cheese.
No.
What would your people see as powerful?
No, like a big
What would
red
be a
wedge
good
of
symbol
cheese.
for them?
Baby Bell.
When you look at it, what says the plains?
Are we nomadic or are we?
They're nomadic. Basically, they move when they feel either get bored or hungry. So like
Okay.
they'll sit around if they got food, and then they move if they don't. Like regular nomadic tribes actually requires a
So-
lot of pre-planning and intelligent
Right.
like traditions that are set up to keep the tribe alive, which none of those tribes have. So they just move around to like whenever they run out of food.
I feel like we should have some sort of
They are
like
terrible for the
stone.
ecosystem.
Oh yeah, they're awful.
Yeah.
I think that's what I
We're
think.
gonna make them
stone castle, ramparts,
kind of
all the
traditional.
stuff.
Will probably be good.
Okay.
Just really like
But
big.
I would like some nice fantasy elements, like trees growing out of turrets and stuff, and like.
Do you want
it'd
to
be
go
cool if they
outside
could-
and look at it?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
You see what on the base would be a traditional castle. And then added on to it, there are spikes coming along outside of the ramparts. Half of them are made of bones that appear to be like the rib cage of an elephant or something, set as spikes along the ramparts. And then also bolstering the defenses, there's just giant metal banding reinforcing every piece of structure with terrifying black metal spikes everywhere. Growing out of the central turret is this giant tree that is glowing green, with just exuding the obviousness of, this is powerful magic, don't mess with us. And you see just vines that reach around that are like bright red that gently move independent of the wind, just showing that they themselves, the foliage will kill you. This is a powerful, dangerous fortress.
Just for a moment, and then it goes away. Krunk imagines pillars of middle fingers. But then they go away because he feels it would be too excessive.
There's like 5 of them.
That
Right
is-
at the pointed directly at every city we know exists in the control direction.
Gargoyles of middle fingers.
Yes, just
So yeah, once it resets itself to what it's gonna try and keep as its base model for the rest of time, unless you guys want to renovate it, will be like that with the addition of a couple gargoyles with multiple different vulgar things that they are doing at anyone who comes, and they
Some
actually
nice
do occasionally like
Roman-
move around and like
yes.
like
Yes, I want statues lining way up to it.
Oh,
and their
yeah.
heads turn when strangers walk up.
Yes.
But
Well, as long as they don't do it when I walk up.
they reset when people like really look at them. They try and make people go crazy by like,
They're creepy.
I think that gargoyle is like looking at me.
Like when we walk in though, like this group, they kneel.
Yes. Okay. Yep. They will.
Ooh,
like it.
yes.
And then also there are multiple messages that will etch themselves into the stone if anyone who you don't like inspects them closely.
That's freaking fabulous.
So
like it.
for
Someone's gonna have
specification,
a horrible time coming
these
in.
statues and gargoyles are not regular mimics. They are specifically guardian mimics, which are in the main mimic castle. They are the warriors that actually will fight. Regular mimics, like, they're dangerous. These are the warrior mimics, the actual warriors that will guard the castle and protect you.
That's so
Hell
cool.
yeah.
I'm proud of them.
I am too.
They're doing
Oh,
good.
they're all wonderful.
Guardian mimics are the best.
And we
They're
tell all of them like
sweets.
these people over here, they are okay.
And
Unless they turn against us.
No, they're not.
We have some kind of link where like they know if it's friendly or not.
yeah, yeah,
We
they
just set that up.
Yep. They are, particularly these ones. The guards are more intelligent than the average mimic, and they are designed to mentally communicate with you if they're about to attack someone. Yeah, they will check in with you. They're smarter than the regular mimic. The main thing is that they're bad. Like, mimics have to balance out what they're good at, and so these guys are crud at navigating any place that they don't know. So they know
Sure.
this castle and the immediate, like, 12 feet around it. And everything outside that, they barely even can walk. Like, they don't even, like, they
They get lost.
navigate their entire body based around the area that they know, and they can't even function outside that space.
Okay.
Noted.
So no bringing them with us,
Yeah.
basically.
No.
For
There are other types of mimics for that. And
Got it.
you guys can talk with the Mimic King if you want to specifically special order some specific mimics.
when's he gonna
So-
give us another class in
Excellent.
like mimic molding?
Very soon, actually, very soon.
Sweet.
Boy.
Right. Well, let's.
Oh, boy.
This is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it
Oh, it's
sounds
fantastic.
so punk rock.
Right. We have more messages.
That tree
Crunk's
is
parents both
gorgeous.
like run up to him. They're like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing! This is your
Tell
house."
me about it. This is my house.
Oh gosh, I'm
It's true.
so happy.
Wow.
This sounds so cool. Ah,
When you walk in, oh, sorry.
just beholding, like.
What's
Are
that,
there
Denise?
any like spikes that are kind of close that you could climb, or are they all up further?
That depends who wants to climb them. Yes, there are spikes there to climb. Yeah.
All right, I climb the side of the castle
All right.
just because.
When you enter into the guardhouse that's up on the turret, that brings you into the throne room. And you all walk through the front door, and that brings you into the throne room. You're all in the throne room. And this is not the Mimic King's throne room. This is your throne room. As the Mimic
there's
Knight.
four.
There's-
There are
There's
six.
multiple.
There are six
thrones. Oh, right.
seats.
Yeah.
And there will always be 6 seats, no matter what happens.
You made us sad again.
I made you sad again. I'm sorry. Okay. I think it's time to take a break. It's just about 7 o'clock, and
Yes.
in the next part, after we take a break, we're going to start up the next what's it?
Giveaway.
Giveaway. That's what that's called. And we're going to give away the other mimic. Let me show it off in case people haven't seen it. This thing right here. I have one.
How did you get that?
Capcheck. Logic makes them, and I ordered one. I was one of the first
Oh.
She has an
to get
Etsy
one.
shop.
She has an Etsy
No,
shop.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's what you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And
I
so
thought that was.
See, here's the thing.
The one
I
that
mean,
she was giving away.
It's supposed to be a
And-
secret, but this mimic and the mimic that Shogun has are the exact same mimic. That's why you never see them at the same time. Damn it! Ah!
You ruined it. I
No,
did
it's
the
just
thing where
very,
you,
very
like,
fast.
Hand it up. Oh,
if we were next to each other, that would be a much funnier gag.
you are on the Discord.
Be
Yeah.
like, huh?
Perspective.
Huh?
Yeah. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. Let me set up the splash screen real quick, and yeah, we will be back.
Wahoo! Besides never being comfortable ever. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, we are live. Hello everybody, and yeah, just reminder, we've started the giveaway, so type in !mimic to join, and we'll be giving that away soon. And you were all in the throne room. Supposedly you're about to do some interior decoration, which is obviously what D&D is about.
I wouldn't be playing if it was any other way.
That's what I
I
signed
mean,
up for.
that's what I come here for.
I mean,
Pretending to
breakfast and interior decoration.
Welcome to
two
Dungeons,
main
Dragons,
draws
and Dives.
Escape from Flavortown.
Do I have to frost my tips for this?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You
Yeah,
volunteer
yeah.
now.
Yep. You're
I
going to be
brought
the
it
one.
upon myself. It's okay. I need to dye my hair anyway.
There you go.
Somebody frost me. For all your other outdated reference, we're the Mimic Knights.
All right. What do you actually want to do?
I think the first thing to do, let's go see Steve.
Okay.
Why?
What are... Just
Why?
because.
Why?
Because Steve's the shopkeeper, and we can get more of those cool potions.
Okay.
Potion
We-
Santa, I need your strongest potions.
Oh, we did use one,
You
didn't
can't
we?
handle my potion. That's too strong for you.
Potion Santa, I'm going into battle.
I am going into battle. Need only your strongest potions.
Okay.
Anyway. So yeah, I guess let's go see Steve. I haven't seen Steve in a while. Wasn't there last time I was there.
It's true.
All right.
I don't really have anything to see Steve for, so I'm just going to frolic in the fountain.
All right.
Mm.
The door is there, and
And I'm
what's
going to
that?
make the fountain have like a big dragon that's shooting out water.
Okay. It
I want it
does.
to always have like really pretty little flowers just floating.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
They just seem to come
lilies
out.
and stuff.
Actually, so they seem to, like, whenever you're not looking, they kind of like despawn out of the pool, and there's a constant new supply of them just gently, magically fluttering from the ceiling.
Like in an anime.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Boom.
Oh boy. Okay, we're back.
Oh, Discord.
Yes, thank you, Discord.
Oh, you.
Ay, ay, ay.
Alrighty.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're gonna see Steve.
Yeah.
Steve!
Yeah, I'll go see Steve.
And attune to this spot.
Yep.
That's
It
the
is-
thing that we needed.
It is done. And actually, the keeper says, "I've done my preparations. Would you like Maggie to come?"
You want to introduce her to
Maggie.
Steve?
Yeah, let's introduce
Yeah.
Maggie to Steve.
Oh, God.
Probably a good idea.
What?
Oh, congratulations!
Hey,
Max!
wonderful.
Oh my God!
Maybe.
Now it's rigged.
Yeah. Now.
It's rigged.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for playing. And Met's Girl has gotten the final mimic chest. I'll get your mailing stuff soon.
Darn it, now I have to go pay for one.
All right.
Actually, Wynn can have mine.
Are you sure?
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay. That's very, very kind.
Double
You didn't have
rigged?
to. I was good.
Double
I-
rigged.
All
Okay.
right.
Well,
Thank
here,
you.
Matt, if you can just pass that on over. Okay.
Hey, pass that over.
He's like, I got one.
You totally botched the directions on that, Mets.
No, I didn't.
No, you did. Mets,
did.
Mets took it from the wrong side.
We're looking at Discord.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
She's on this
It's
side
opposite,
of me on
so-
Discord.
All right.
I tried. Sorry.
Like, oh jeez.
So-
Okay.
In a quick flash of light, you see Maggie appear, now floating off the ground. So she's around head height. And she is levitating with. She still has no eye stalks, but is levitating the book in front of her. It's closed, but she's like keeping it near as if it's like under her arm.
I'm so proud of her. She's growing up
Hello,
so fast.
Maggie.
Hello. Hi.
How have you been?
Good. I read the book. I finished the book.
Oh, good.
You like
Excellent.
it?
How was it?
It was a little interesting. I don't know. It was a I don't know. I have very little context to put it against. I don't know
That's
if it's a good book or not.
We should have given her Harry Potter.
Well, hopefully we can provide some context.
I wonder if Steve has any books
Oh,
suitable.
That's a great idea. We would like you to
Steven?
come meet a friend of ours, Steve. He's the shopkeeper.
Okay. And the door is there.
Okay. I'll just open the door. See if he's awake this time.
Yep, he is. Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Hi. Lucian. Denise, hi. Wave through the door at you out in the fountain. Win, Krunk,
up?
and who's this one?
Maggie.
She's our new beholder.
Hello.
She's our daughter, I suppose.
And he's just like,
Our darling. We could just call her our little one. Even though she's going to get very big, she will still be our little one.
She is a pet, is she not? Pet?
No.
No, she's too intelligent to be a pet.
Krunk doesn't know. Krunk.
Okay,
Krunk
I mean,
feels like still.
I've been a lot of places. I've seen a lot of messed up stuff. It's whatever.
I've seen some shit.
Well, I was wondering, before we get into the anything new part of the conversation, might you happen to have any books?
You know, for kids.
All right. How educational? I'm assuming it's for.
Yes,
Krunk?
it's for Maggie.
No, it's for Maggie here.
It's the only bitch I can read.
Oh, I meant the other one.
No.
No, he's
He's not
something happened to him.
in reading.
He is not in
Capability
condition
right
to be
now.
able to read.
Okay.
Yes.
Pardon me.
No, it's okay. He did.
Okay. You need books for the beholder.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to teach her about nice things and
All right.
you know, love.
He pulls out a like Dr. Seuss, but like for 3-year-olds level book.
Isn't Dr. Seuss for 3 years?
I don't know. I think it's a little more advanced than that, but I might be wrong. And
I always forget that I started reading early. Sorry.
she begins to like levitate it up, opens the first page, and then like closes it. It's like, okay, I'm done. That was boring.
Yeah, maybe we need something a little more words.
Yeah. That only had like 50 words in the whole thing.
Yeah, no, something quite a bit more advanced.
But still for kids.
No, I think we can kind of skip over that.
We could probably go straight to
but
Lord of the
things
Rings and
about-
skip The Hobbit, right?
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
So again,
was good. I
we,
liked The
are we
Hobbit.
speaking I guess fiction or history or sciences? What are you interested in?
We should probably
Yeah.
start with fiction.
She'll
I
need
feel
time.
like we should give her context before we teach her more about like the real world.
All right.
Like give her a way to interpret history a little better
Generally, the idea is
so that when she reads it she doesn't get angry and start killing everyone.
we're trying to impress upon her positive values.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't sell any of those books.
Can you at least like
You
recommend, you know, like a?
I suggest you get a hold of a library of some form. Perhaps you know someone important enough to have a library of their own.
Oh,
Yes, we
yeah,
pissed-
Mimic King.
We pissed him. Oh, the Mimic King.
Well,
Who are you thinking of?
The glowy guy.
Derek, what'd you call him, Derek? You didn't tell me his name.
Oh yes, no,
Dracarys.
that
Glowy
was
guy.
I was talking about Dracar.
Drogon?
yeah,
Dracarys.
Macaris.
That's a good name.
It's Macaris.
Oh, okay. No.
Unnecessary.
Um,
Sciences wouldn't be terribly would
That's
be
true.
actually useful
Yeah.
as well.
All right.
Science is good.
Um,
Maybe math.
what countries do you want them to be legal in?
All of them. Well,
Oh,
no.
wait, no.
Well,
Never mind. Doesn't matter.
The books?
Maybe.
Yes.
Or
Oh, yeah,
okay.
that doesn't matter. Does it?
I'll be proofreading them, so we'll take them all.
All right.
Right.
Here we
need to
go.
start our own- Actually, we need to start our own
How
library.
about
That's a
the
brilliant
ones
idea.
that just,
That's true.
Yeah,
We need our own
true.
library
That's
anyway.
a good point.
whether they're
we'll
legal or
just
not,
take
how about the
them
ones
all,
that just...
really? We need
yeah.
to start our own library.
All right. I have advanced alchemy.
Good.
Arrangement of the stars. I have the inner workings of the gods. Yes, that's definitely right here. It's sorting out different ones. That's definitely not appropriate for children.
I mean,
here-
give it to us anyway. We'll give it to her
we'll take
later
it
when
anyway.
she's.
We'll...
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
Is not appropriate.
Oh, shit.
If it's
where-
simply reproduction, then I don't think it's that inappropriate.
Lucian, I
Yes.
think you're familiar in this type of reproduction. You don't. Not not appropriate for children.
Oh, recreational.
Oh, is it
No.
recreation? Oh.
Demonic.
Well, then,
Oh, yes. No, definitely give me a book on that. Thank you very much.
Do you have any recreational?
No. I excuse me, I have some level of standards, not to mention a limited amount of storage space.
I look at Denise and say, I tried, I'm sorry.
I'm
You need to learn, guys. Come on.
I
don't know the
You've
way
been
of-
in a forest for a long,
Oh,
all your
no.
life.
I'm you
I
Yeah,
just
no
look at, I look at Denise, I'm like,
Steve, I
Sorry.
can handle that conversation with them. Don't worry.
aren't you a druid?
Thanks, Dad.
Don't you understand nature? I mean, whatever.
Yeah, you
Whatever.
would think.
knowledge
I
and
meant,
experience are two different things, my friend.
Here. Stack of books. Pay me, please. And
He's like, get the.
Very
Oh,
What
wait,
do you
we need
want?
too, right? We have dragon breath
Yeah,
potion.
give me the weird stuff.
Give us the good stuff, man.
Give me the stuff.
Come on. You're my only fix.
Okay, unfortunately, I only have kind of a middling level. Like to you, Denise, this would be practically useless. I have a potion of weasel changing.
Give me.
No, I want it.
It turns you into a weasel.
Yes,
You
similar
have to
to
drink it.
druid. Yes, similar to druidic transformation. So you keep your mind about
You have
you.
to want to
No,
turn into a weasel.
no.
No, this
Yeah, I
turns
want
you
it.
into a weasel.
Let me
Yeah,
have
this
it.
turns you into a weasel. I think it has like a.
Do you have to drink the whole thing?
Yes. It lasts for an hour, but after the first 15 minutes, first minute, you can voluntarily end it. But for the first minute, you're stuck
Oh.
as a weasel.
Only a minute?
No.
Okay.
You're stuck that way, and then it lasts for an hour.
No,
after.
I know what you mean. I was thinking like forcibly turning
yeah,
someone into a weasel later.
All right.
Only
if,
with their
you know-
consent. Come on, Win.
Jeez.
We
We don't turn
Consent,
people into
Win.
weasels unless they consent.
You are all.
That's why I was asking if you had to like do a wisdom throw or like if you want to turn into a weasel.
Yeah, no, it's not voluntary. There's no
Like
wisdom.
I was gonna,
There's no
I was
saving
gonna, like
throw
spike
against it.
someone's drink with it later.
It would have to be the whole
guess I
thing, and it's like
Like
an
a milk-
actual kitchen cup, like cup of flour, like that amount of liquid is in the bottle. So it's not huge, but it would definitely like mess with whatever drink you put it into. And you
Unless
also
it
don't
was,
know
like-
what it tastes like. But yes, there's the potion. Unfortunately, that's the only one I have, other than, of course, healing potions. And I have a scroll for you.
Ooh,
Lightning bolt.
tastes like weasels.
No, that's going to be musky.
No.
I,
Oh, please.
I don't think the scroll tastes like weasels.
No, the potion.
The potion, the weasel potion.
Weasel potion.
Tastes like weasels.
Oh
made of
god.
weasels, right?
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
You know what?
Right.
Harkening back to the thing that kicked this all off, the scroll does taste like weasels.
I'm glad we
marking
licked
that on
it to
the
find
sheet.
out.
Yeah,
Tastes-
I'm
I would like to
assuming.
point out that I did not do the licking.
Okay, who did? Because one of you did.
I've learned my lesson.
Obviously, it was Win. She's the one who
Yeah.
figured it out.
Okay.
She's
I'm
so
sitting
into
here
this.
going, please don't make Lucian
Like-
do this.
Like he handed it to me and I was just like,
Win is a furry confirmed.
All right. Now here's the other thing. When did you lick a weasel in real life, or like
Right,
in the
how-
past?
Where's your frame of reference?
somebody had a bully. It was me. I was bullied.
Well, yeah,
They
because you
made
were
me like a weasel.
you were sent to the convent, and it wasn't exclusively dwarves. So
There was a weasel.
There were some weasels around, and you were bored one night.
okay,
To
stop that conversation, please.
This is the worst thing to like when you have a character and you find out stuff like this. Like it's not like you came up with it, and just, no. But now it's canon.
Now it's
Yep.
Character development comes from the strangest places.
Yes.
Just weasels its way in when you least expect it.
Damn it, Jack.
All right, well,
Wouldn't-
stream's over. Bye, everyone.
All right.
Right. While that is occurring, Steve,
Yes.
might you have any information on Istangura by chance?
Oh yes.
Not Constantinople.
Okay. I've been there. It has a plaza.
Oh,
We like plazas.
We need
Um,
someone to touch the plaza, though, don't we?
yes. That's a problem.
All right. I've not been there in some time. Something blocks it nowadays. It's fairly easy to block a plaza there. Like, yeah, if one of the pathways topples over, or if the fountain gets broken, it can be blocked. Or even if someone magically just imposes their will, not even casting a spell, they can just suppress it. You could, if you
Wow.
focused. All of you except Crunk really could prevent
about to say.
someone from arriving if you wanted to. So someone stopping it. It can be something as simple as a displacer beast doesn't want people showing up, or it can be as complicated as a lich. Anything could be doing it. And something is blocking that plaza. But yes, I've been there.
Shit.
Let me
Isn't there
think.
anything?
I sold a map to someone quite a few years back. Let me look at my records 1 second. And he puts on like one of those like money counter hats and begins to look through his receipts.
And I'm just gonna like whisper, like, after this, we gotta see if he has any like magic Drano for the, see if he can unblock it.
Yes, okay. I sold it to to a fellow. Oh yes. Connected to you, sir, Lucian. You know him. What was his name? The old cranky fellow. He's a map collector, or so he said. Did quite a bit of traveling. I think he might have even made the excursion himself. At some point in his younger-ish days. At this point, he ought to be getting on. Yes, that fellow.
Yes.
What was his name? I mean, the receipt says old guy, so,
That limits
Yes.
it.
Oh, that's right. His name was. I'm logging into the thing that has it written down.
yes, so, that was him. I don't have any more maps of it, because I sold that one and I haven't gotten back to the play. Well, I have to go there to make another map. That's how the cardinal locations work. I have to be there to map it out.
Grigor, that's the one.
Yes, that's. I guess I still don't. It still doesn't ring a bell. Still just old guy every time. Old guy.
It's pronounced Grigor.
Oh yes. Igor. Anyway, he.
As long
Yeah,
as
he
it's not
bought
gray.
that. He bought a sword and some armor. He bought, let me look, couple potions, a whole bunch of healing potions, and
It sounds like he was gonna go fight something.
he
That's
said
not
they
unusual.
weren't for him. Yeah, sword,
Send his son.
armor. I don't think he had one at the time, but
How many years ago?
good chunk of years ago, at least 30 years ish, somewhere around there. I don't
That's
know.
long enough to have a son.
Maybe
Send him.
more, maybe less. Time's
He
goofy.
doesn't have children.
Okay. He said he was like outfitting some crew of some kind.
Oh, he bought some pirates.
Or like, yeah, like I think he hired some fellows and then he gave them some armor and weapons and something so they wouldn't die.
Yes,
That's
that's
fair.
how it works with him.
People still die with arm.
Well, I mean, help at least a little bit. I don't know what happened. They might have all
Helps him
died.
avoid it.
Like, I didn't see him after that. He might have died.
Not unless we're all very lucky.
Anyway, yes, he got that. Some other stuff. Looks like I spilled coffee on here. I can't read the rest.
I understand your pain.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
goody, we know someone that can get us there.
Oh, well, that's convenient.
If he's not dead, he's probably not dead.
Your
Is he
face is doing interesting gymnastics there.
It is.
Are you
have a-
excited to see this person?
We have a history.
Yes.
Did not
you
answer
seem
her
to have a history
question.
with
No, it
Lots
definitely
of
did
people.
not.
I mean, you have a history with me too, but that doesn't mean
Yes, but I like
the
you.
same
There's a difference.
necessarily.
Anyway,
Oh,
you want all these things? The scroll of a lightning bolt and
And that sounds fun.
the potion and the books.
yes, that would be delightful. How much is it?
Oh, this will be your cheapest checkout yet. And he asks you
You
for
have
some
more
amount. I don't
stuff.
even want to.
Excellent.
I'm even gonna borrow it.
Here's
Lucian-
stated amount.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hands
Doesn't
up
matter.
that amount,
Here you
takes
go.
that thing, and walks out.
Go. You are all there. The door closes and quickly transfigures itself into just chalk scrawlings on the wall. It is just the five of you, and the keeper is around. Oh, and Maggie is around. Sorry. So yeah, the five of you, including Maggie, and then also the keeper is around, but he's currently not in this room.
Right. I didn't really
Sure,
feel like having this conversation in front of Steve.
What happened?
Grigor owned me.
Ugh.
oh,
Oh, that's who that is. I knew I recognized the name.
Yes, the
Like
same one that
editing.
trained Greg.
Fucking Greg.
See, exactly. He trained the both of us. He bought us at auction, and
Do you buy people?
Yes, you can in fact buy people.
Hey.
You shouldn't buy people.
No.
Maggie looks at
No.
Win. No? Is that how that works?
No.
No? Okay, no.
Buying people is bad.
Like, even if you do, like, buy someone, it doesn't necessarily, like, stick. Because people just generally don't like being owned. It's just not. It's just not right.
Incredibly unpleasant.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Maggie. It's not your
No,
fault
you didn't
whatsoever.
do anything. It's okay to be curious.
But yes, I grew up as I know bits and pieces of this have happened so far. I grew up in the Red Scar, which is apparently, I thought it was on the demonic plane, but it's not. It's here on this plane, and when I was young, adventurers came to my home and killed my family, and took me as a slave to those cities that Macaris represents, where I was sold to Grigor. I worked, well, I say worked, more like a prisoner with a job, I suppose.
Hmm.
And I was forced to do his work for many, many years until I got so good at it that he realized I was more of a threat to him than an asset, and he cut me loose into the world. Not terribly long before I met all of you. So, we do have a history. It will be complicated to see him at best, especially if you ask about Greg. But, well,
Do you want me to kill him? I
not
will kill him.
immediately. But
So,
let's leave that open-ended for now.
so how are we going to approach this then? Are you thinking that we can like go to him and like talk
We
to
don't-
him, or
we know
do you
where
want to like sneak
Oh, I
into his
think we
house
can
and
do-
kidnap him and
No, I think
make
I
him
can
give us
absolutely
things?
go and speak with him and be friendly and chummy, just understand exactly where I'm coming from with him.
I'm going to want to kill him.
Thank you for that, truly. It's... I definitely don't like speaking about this.
Yeah, which is why we don't, ask much.
No. With all of you, I consider you my family.
Aw,
You.
I like you too.
You're all wonderful. Truly. I could not think of a better group of friends, and companions, and family.
So are you going to see him now?
No, I don't believe so. I think we're going to go speak with Wynn's family. We have that unfinished business to handle first.
Oh.
Oh
I made a
boy.
decision.
I'm gonna go ask the Mimic King. I'm gonna go back, if that's okay, and ask him if he
Yes.
has a library.
That's
And
probably a
if
good
not,
idea.
well, we have
Yeah.
these new books to start with as well, because
Okay.
we're going to start a library here as well.
I think up a bookshelf.
There
so
is
that
a
we can start
bookshelf.
putting
Just
books there.
one.
Just one, for
next to
now.
the fountain.
Yeah, when you put them on to the bookshelf passes through the wall and goes into a new room, which will be the library.
That is
Ew.
awesome. There had better be
You
wonderful,
are
comfy sofas
all
in there.
given each. This will be more useful to some of you than others. You are all given a pouch similar to the treasure pouch you have, but connected to the library.
Ooh, library pouch.
Oh,
It exclusively transports
Oh my
books and scrolls.
I want one of these.
Okay, so we
in
can put the lightning scroll in there for now.
yes.
I made a decision.
Yes.
You can all be in part of my.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot how sensitive this is. Sorry.
What was that, Crunk? I couldn't hear you over Win. I think she's having trouble.
I don't know what happens.
It was a very heartfelt moment too. You terrible
I mean,
people.
it's kind of silly. I said I finally decided you can be in my
In his tribe.
tribe. Tribe. I am
Okay.
chieftain of tribe.
Okay.
Lucian's gonna give
Right.
Crunk a big hug
Mm.
and just like pull back, like actually a little bit of tears. Thank you.
Oh.
I appreciate that
No.
very much.
Do we get loincloths?
Right. That is more than enough emotions for today.
That's a great idea. You must wear the only.
Oh
Tribe.
yes.
Don't push it. Although I
I'll
do.
wear it under my
If you
armor.
want to, you don't have to. If you want to, you can.
Like a headband, that'd be cool.
The castle kind
Yeah,
of
Denise would go for it.
rumbles a tiny bit, and you hear a voice of the numerous
Excuse me.
mimics that make up the castle, and they go, someone's trying to break in.
Dang, already? Well,
Yeah.
can you capture them and bring them to us, I guess.
Okay.
No.
Oh, they're already gone now.
What?
This is great. I just
Captured. They're
imagine
gonna
it
be
just
captured. It'll be just
somebody
fine.
getting spit into the floor in front of us, and we're all sitting in our chairs and our.
Make sure they're
throne
tied
room.
up.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
Yes,
care.
let's go to the throne
go into the
room.
throne room, and two guard mimics
sit
walk
majestically.
in.
Yeah, we'll sit. Just sit back.
The guard mimic statues are about 8 feet tall, and so they are carrying, like, from one on either side under the armpit. They're carrying Krug's mother.
Oh.
Let her go. Let her go.
And drop her.
I told
Gently.
you she is my friend. She's
Sorry.
my mother.
It's an interesting way to get in.
What were you doing? Did you just walk through the
Did you
door?
walk in the door?
I climbed over the wall, ran around,
No,
running away from the
why?
statues that chased me, and then
Next time you have to go in the door.
Just go through
well,
the
it was
door. They'll let you in.
closed.
Just
You
knock
can just
on
knock.
it.
I
Yeah,
did.
They'll let us know.
Oh well,
Oh.
I knocked on the statues anyway.
Don't.
No, they
No.
don't.
No.
They don't like that.
They don't like that.
Oh,
Okay, you have to. They're living statues.
I didn't know
They're
that.
very-
I didn't
they're
know that
very
until they chased me.
It's okay. Now you know, and make
Love
sure
it.
everyone else knows that the statues are alive and they will capture you. So you have to be nice and go to the door.
Tell everyone else when you go.
You have
Oh,
to be polite.
Okay.
Or
Anyway,
the-
I was here
Just what-
to tell you that we're going to, because we know kind of the basic idea of your plan. So I was thinking of sending a few people out to kind of scout and see when the cities start making moves.
This is
That's
a
probably
good
a good
plan.
idea.
Yeah.
You know what? That is a brilliant idea. One. Two, we need to ask for some additional help, potentially.
Mhm.
Mimic King.
You get communication to him, but it's psychic,
Okay.
so only
Yes.
you guys will hear this.
Right. One, I understand this mess. Is it you that has
Your
messages
call
for
is
us?
very important to us.
I
To hold.
I think all of the messages were relayed, other than
Through ours.
I understand your strategy is to provoke the cities.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let me know what you need. I am.
I think scout mimics would be a brilliant thing to have.
Evoking
Something
supplies.
to reinforce the tribe here.
One moment. And you see out of the floor would rise just this entirely shapeless blob of mimic shape. And we kind of twist, turn, and would end up very similar to a gargoyle, but if it wasn't stone. So it's got fur and actual flesh and horns and teeth and wings.
It's so cute.
I love him.
It just looks over at you.
Your name is Mortimer, and I love you.
Yes.
Mortimer and Maggie. I like
Oh,
it.
we have a thing going now, don't we? All right.
They all must start with M now. Great.
Whoops.
Oh, great. Now I have to go on the baby name site
Baby
for
name
next
site.
time.
So it's
No
just
mimics,
looking around. Like it seems off the bat extremely averse to interacting with anything, but
Oh no.
is observing everything. You see that just it begins to pop out eyes out of any place it needs them. It just like opens them up and then closes them, and they don't exist anymore. And it's just looking at everything.
okay. Good.
Sweet.
Okay then.
Mortimer, which is your name now, by the way.
And it like nods. Mm-hmm.
What is Crunk's mother's name?
I named her
the mother.
Leah last
Leah.
session.
Brother.
Leah.
Leah,
Great.
this is information I should have.
Yeah.
That's one of the few
Maybe.
things you probably should write down.
It's like the one thing I should write down is
Right. Mortimer, this is Leah. You're going to listen to Leah. Leah's going to direct you to where you need to be scouting, looking around, and getting information, as much information as possible. And then report it back to here.
It runs over to
the
you,
Area.
and begins to speak in mimic. Says, "Please offer me your hand, please." And it very gently bites your hand, drawing a small amount of blood. And then moves over to Denise. "Please, your hand."
you like it.
Mortimer?
It's okay.
What are you doing?
"Connection through blood. Here." And it
Oh.
kind of shudders a little bit, and then Lucian, your sense of vision is replaced by Mortimer's vision.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And you see him flicking through different types of sight, going into detect magic vision and going into the astral sight, and flicking through different forms of vision through, dark vision and thermographic, and then
I don't
goes
even know
back,
what that is.
and you're back into your own head.
Whoa.
Oh,
Of course, he's the only one who experienced that. None of you know what happened. He just went for a second.
Just went cross-eyed.
Lucian, are you okay?
oh, you definitely want to let him do that.
Oh, okay. Here you go, Mortimer.
And it bites you, moves over to Win. It bites you, moves over to Crunk,
Yeah.
and it bites you. Okay. And it rushes off. It only speaks Mimic, but it can understand Common. So it'll listen, but it can't really talk back.
Leah, if you have anything important to tell us, you can tell it to Mortimer.
Okay. That's convenient.
Can Mortimer converse with Leah and other people too?
Nope. He can't speak any
He
language other than
understands.
Mimic. He understands, but
But
he
he
can't
can't.
speak.
Okay.
He understands every language possible, because that makes him the best spy and scout.
But if he doesn't speak it, then they can't get any info out of him if they somehow catch him.
Nice.
So she says, well, I'll send my husband in so he can give you a little bit more actual detail on the tribes if you want, or you can put that off till later, if you've got important things you're doing. I mean, we'll be around.
Yeah, we might have to
We're not
do
going
that
anywhere.
later.
Yes, unfortunately.
All right, I'll get started with this. Come here, demon freak.
Name is Mortimer.
Me?
Okay, Marty,
He
come
has
here.
a name. Marty. That'll work.
40?
Morty.
No.
Sorry.
Okay. Not Morty.
They go outside, and she just like when someone has a hawk, she just like chucks her arm upward, just throwing him into the air, and he starts to flap and begins to
Well, I mean, if that
follow.
worked.
Yeah.
Get the little pouch thing like at medieval times, like.
All right, you are alone in the throne room. Maggie has headed back. She's going to go see if the Mimic King has any books that he'll lend you guys.
Excellent.
Okay.
Neat.
What are you up to?
Okay, so
I'm going
if we're
to-
gonna go see my parents,
What do we need?
I need something. I can't just come back empty-handed.
I mean, you have a bag of all this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
they don't care about money, though, right?
No, not gold.
Yeah,
I
they
need
don't.
like I need a
bullets.
dwarf thing. I need like an artifact.
Real
Hmm.
dwarven artifact, right? Because they'll be able to tell if
Yeah.
it's a fake, right?
Oh, yeah.
Most
Lucian's
definitely.
gonna reach into his pouch, the treasure pouch, and like call for a dwarven artifact.
You get like a handful of dwarven coin.
Yeah.
No.
Like regular or
This is ancient.
It's old.
Old print.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know. It's like
Finding a penny from the 1600s or something.
yeah, or yeah. It's like it's still an equivalent to the U.S. is it's still American money. Like old,
Like it's worth.
so that
it might be
makes it
worth
probably
more,
worth
but...
less than
it's
more
like a
at this
mercury
point.
dime or a drummer boy
Fair enough.
quarter or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
no, well then
Buffalo
put it,
nickel.
then
Yeah.
just put it back in. You know, well, we tried. Keeper,
Yes.
do you happen to have any dwarven artifacts by chance?
I do.
Yeah.
What particularly are you looking for?
Well,
Anything particularly lost to the ages, Win?
what would make you look the most cool?
When you know there's a lot of stuff like
Yeah, there's several, at least.
more. Give me a category, something you can carry in your arms, a weapon.
Yeah,
particularly? I have a boat.
I was kind of hoping for like.
I'm sorry, a boat.
Yes, the dwarven ship.
We can't carry that around.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're-
maybe I could.
We'll come back for that.
It's a
but,
very big one.
That's what she said.
But anyway, you have like a shield or like a hammer,
I have the stone helm.
helmet. Great. That sounds great.
Yes.
What's the stone helm?
As far as I understand, it is the helm worn by one of the dwarven kings, who I believe now is one of their gods.
Neat.
Oh, that will be very helpful.
It was placed in my care by the Mimic King, so I will need his direct authority.
Ah.
But I imagine that shouldn't be difficult.
I guess do we like network him in on the call or?
Yeah,
it's
he
conference.
just goes,
We're just gonna conference
it,
him.
talks to him, and
Sorry, guys, I was on mute.
in the middle of the floor, a patch of blackness forms, and one of those pedestals rises up. And within the glass case, or the crystal case, you see a dwarven helm that's got like a thick central nose guard, and then separate like around. So all this area is open, and it's just this thick stone helmet that has numerous scratches and a very vicious looking like cleaver sword that is broken off, embedded in the front of it.
Well, it's not really my personal style. But...
Yeah, it would be actually kind of awkward to wear, because first of all, it's super heavy, or
Yeah,
you'd
why
imagine
don't
it would
you
be
make
because
it
it's made out of rock, and then it has a chunk of sword just kind of coming down right in your vision.
So, how did you happen to get this helm?
A mimic picked it up found it.
Where?
The mimic that brought it in has forgotten, I'm afraid.
Fair.
As you can expect. But he remembers that the adventurer was tasty.
Oh, that's
That's good to know. Okay.
There is that. That's-
Um,
Here lies tasty adventure.
let me talk with him
His helmet
for
was
one
made of
moment
stone
more.
for some reason.
Yes, so he can remember. Tasted like a human. So it wasn't the original dwarf that died to the mimic.
Well, I kind of figured since he's basically a god now.
yes.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
pick
think
it
he
up and try to
would've-
put it on.
Yeah, you can. It's a bit like it's a bit awkward because it does have that blade coming right down in front of your face. It feels a bit uneven because the helm itself feels nearly weightless. And so that one heavy bit of metal embedded in the front of it really unbalances it.
Oh,
So it keeps wanting to slide forward, and it doesn't have straps because it was made perfectly for one individual to fit without straps. And you're not that person. So it keeps just kind of sliding forward. But
anyway.
Yeah.
I guess since we have this, I can.
You want to try it?
Aren't they going to want a story of how you got it?
Do you want to try it?
No, I'm okay, thank you.
Cool. You'd be surprised.
I'm okay, thank you. I don't do helmets. Wynn's more of a like a nice, pretty
Headband.
circlet kind of headband person.
all right.
too.
You have the helm. Do you want to go to the Dwarven Hall?
Yeah, I guess I'm down. I'm still nervous.
You head to the plaza and set up. So to use the device requires all of you to essentially expend your concentration for 1 hour. So if anyone attacks you, they have a chance of breaking your concentration and thus preventing you from transporting. And also you can't cast any concentration spells while you're doing this. But since you're in the Mimic Castle, it's pretty easy. Nothing is going to attack you here. You spend an hour concentrating
Ain't
As-
nothing gonna break my
as-
stride.
as much as you can.
Nothing is so
And you are all transported into the plaza in the Dwarven Hall. The dwarves have specifically set up the plaza outside of their Dwarven Halls. So it's like just outside the front gates. And you appear in a flash of light about 100 miles away from where you were.
Oh,
Crack-a-pow.
That's handy.
cool.
Hmm.
Where are we?
Halt!
Wait.
And you see 4 dwarven guards in full shining bronze armor approaching, or bronze looking armor. It doesn't really feel like bronze, but kind of it's not gold, but it looks kind of golden. So kind of this kind of mix,
Shiny.
almost between like a middle point color between copper and gold. Actually, let's go with that.
Okay, do I recognize them?
Not as individuals, but they're definitely dwarven guard. Yeah, you don't know any of them by name.
Okay.
Who are you?
Uh,
And they immediately seem to be like kind of edging themselves forward to try and like protect Wynn from the rest of you. Like they're slowly edging in to kind of make a wall of themselves between you.
And I'm like, hey, so we're the Mimic Knights?
Maybe you've heard of us.
Probably.
Sure.
Right.
He just bluntly in
Anyway.
Dwarven says, "Are you in danger? Are they holding you prisoner?"
And I'm like, no. Nothing like that. These are my friends. I'm coming back to visit my parents.
Very well. Traveling dwarf returns. And one of them like nods to the rest, and he leaves to go ahead of you, and let people know that you're coming. And the other three are, all right.
He didn't even ask my name.
Welcome in. They will look up who you are.
Do they have pictures?
Kind of.
That's neat.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So.
Come along then,
Yeah, come on,
friends
guys.
of a dwarven traveler. What is your name?
I'm Win.
Yes,
Bernhold.
your family
Yeah.
awaits you. They have
I bet they
questions
do.
for you.
Well, they do.
Yeah.
They have been the talk of the city for a few days,
Days, I'm sure.
a couple days now.
Hmm.
Terrible mystery
Yeah.
has struck them.
Yeah, I probably have the answers. That's why I'm here.
Very good. Who exactly are these folks? And now he is speaking in common.
Well,
Hi, I'm Denise.
this is Denise. Hoi! Um,
Hi.
this is Denise, my druid friend.
Lucian, a pleasure.
I changed into a cat just because.
Pardon me.
They're a little weird. It's gonna
I
be
am
fine,
Krunk.
though.
I am Krunk. I am chieftain of the. What's the name of my tribe?
They don't really have a name. Because to them, they're the only tribe that matters. They're the tribe.
The tribe. I'm the chieftain of the tribe.
He's a plains man. Don't, you know.
Oh. And they kind of take a
Don't worry,
step
though.
back from him. And
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. I'm really important. It's
He's
fine.
the chief, and he's my friend, which means he's your friend.
all right, we've had
I know the past may
varied
not have been.
interactions with the plains people.
We're working on that.
Oh, really?
I mean, I am in charge of them. It's okay.
Yeah,
You be my friend.
we're
They be
gonna.
your friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the kings may be interested in hearing about that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be very pleased to meet us.
After we speak with Wynn's family, it would be an honor to speak with
We
Wynn
have
about such a thing.
Lots of stories.
So
While they're
you're brought up
talking-
to the front gate, which is fairly lackluster. It's this just perfectly blocky metal wall. I mean, that's kind of impressive. Metal's not the cheapest thing. It's purely metal. The grand thing about this is it's metal, making it very tough, and it's also perfectly smooth at a slight incline. So climbing it would just be a nightmare. It's this perfectly like utilitarian, just perfectly designed, but no flair at all to this design. It's just this. It's kind of boring, but it's made out of similar armor, or metal to their armor, and they let you through the gate.
Do we have to be in the Mimic Castle to decorate?
It depends if you're getting good reception, basically.
No. Well, I would just say I really like the way like this perfect design looks. Like it's just made to be where it is, and I like that.
That
it doesn't
will.
need to tend to be anything but exactly what it is.
Yep, that will
'Cause
influence
you
its.
know what it is.
Yeah, it that will influence it. It's gonna change itself to fit that, while trying to keep all the other plates that you've handed it up in the air as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Not the Mimic Castle.
Yes,
Okay.
You
he's trying to redecorate from a distance.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm remote redecoration.
Do that.
that's professional. You enter in, and you find the
Next
act-
level
and
D&D.
you continue to follow just these more of these same gatehouses. It's a nice walk up there, but it's kind of barren. Same thing, more of these very plain but perfectly designed structures until you finally get to the Dwarven Hall doors. They are 200 feet tall. stretching into the side of the mountain. They are about, each door, which is a double door, each door is about 50 feet wide. They're just these enormous giant things. They're open because opening them is a pain. So they don't like close them and open them often. But
that's why there's all those other gates.
they're open a crack, which would allow you to fit like a double-decker bus through it.
Wow.
And
You make cool things.
yeah, you step in and the hall doesn't get any shorter, it gets taller after you enter. It's taller than the doorway. It's just this grand, reminiscent of like a grand cathedral. Everything is made out of this shining kind of pseudo gold coloring, these tall arches, massive, just massive pillars holding up the ceiling. Just this enormous, amazing architecture. You see that also all over the place there's dwarves on scaffolding, altering and perfecting the design, just constantly changing it, making it better. And you begin to enter past the kind of front hall into the home halls, where they have lined across the beautiful walls, they have the lineages of every dwarven family. And you are drawn over to a particular place where there are several dwarves who have camped. Basically, they've got like tents set up right there. Like, you guys can see the houses, and the houses are amazing. They stretch and are part of the mountain, and the pillars are their houses. But
wow.
these guys have set up tents over next to one section of the wall. And when you would see both of your parents there, along with several other cousins and brothers and sisters and assorted family members, and then other people who are not part of the family but are notable dwarven thinkers and philosophers are there as well. And they're all just sat around. They're kind of tidying up because they've heard you're coming, so they're prepping, but they're still very focused on this task here. And you approach them.
So upon seeing my parents, I get a little emotional and I kind of like run and like, Mom, Dad, and I just kind of like jump and like give them a hug.
They both get up to you. Your dad gets to you first and like hugs you and holds you for until you're getting the point like, okay, like on me. Holds you for a while, and then before he's done hugging, your mom comes over and joins in rather than waiting her turn, and your siblings and cousins all greet you, giving you long handshakes or hugs. Yeah, Crunk, Denise, and Lucian, you all three feel kind of pushed to the wayside as no one cares that you are here. They're just entirely focused that Win is home.
Okay,
unfortunately, I get
like...
extremely distracted and just like start greeting everybody that I missed, and like,
yeah,
you know, all around just like, you know, hugs and shoulder pats as needed and whatnot. Which I'm assuming will go on for. Which I'm assuming goes on for probably a few minutes.
Lucian upgrades his villain look by now holding and stroking a cat.
Aww. You picked me up.
What color cat?
I'm a tabby cat.
Okay.
Little white, little brown.
Streaks of green.
Sure, why not?
Ew.
Dash of fuchsia.
One horn.
And then
right,
finally,
so...
after all of this, they give a glance and they're just like, and look back to Win.
And that reminds me that they exist. And I'm like, oh, I have to introduce you all. And and I kind of like shuffle and I like push the Crunk and Lucian like so that they're standing next to each other, and I pick up Denise and I'm like, and I put her down. I'm like, okay, turn back. And like I want, and basically I'm like lining you guys up because I'm about to like make a presentation, and I'm like, guys, these
Okay.
are my best friends,
Aw.
Denise, and this is Lucian, and this is Crunk, and they're all really strong, and I just sort of like go into this like overly long explanation about
Anyone who
stuff
wants
that we've
to,
been doing.
but anyone who wants to can do this, but specifically Win, please roll insight.
Hmm.
An 18
That
from
makes me
Win, a
curious.
7 from Crunk, a
21.
21 from Lucian, and does Denise not want to? You don't
Yeah,
have to.
I
It's
couldn't pull up her.
12.
sheet.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Lucian and Win, you both see, they're extremely happy, but they're trying to, kind of hide the fact that they're a tiny bit, not exactly disappointed, but a little like off put by the people that you've brought here. Like, they're like, okay. Okay, we will be happy with her because she likes these people. But like they're a little bit off put by these people.
Yeah. So,
It's a little weird. It's okay.
Um
and
I
then
think
I
Okay.
get,
might
I'm
want
like,
to
oh,
talk about-
I almost forgot, and I like rummage in my bag and I get the helmet out,
oh.
and I'm like, look,
Keep that on you. Okay, we have unpleasant things to talk about later, but right now you need to be introduced into the hall. Come here. And so, Win, you would know what this is. This is the celebration for a traveling dwarf. Any dwarf who is not just like a trader who just goes like on like a trip, but like a traveling dwarf. They must celebrate your return. And so, they bring you all, but specifically with Win at the front of the group. She is lifted by 4 other dwarves onto a like litter thing. She is brought into the dining hall, which you guys cannot see the end of. It's just this long hall with these huge long tables, and you cannot see the end of it. It goes beyond the visible horizon.
Freaking getters.
I think
And
village.
the moment the enormous doors burst open, there is literal fanfare, massive trumpets, an entire band, and there are magical fireworks being launched. This enormous show and parade for the return of a dwarven kin.
Aw. That's awesome.
And you are brought
Yeah.
to the table and are given a grand feast. There is a choice of nearly anything.
Ooh,
there.
dwarven ale.
Yeah.
Me and Denise get drunk.
only a lot.
Oh yeah.
Forge Breaker has
nice.
rated us with 6 people. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for the raid. There are. So you know those like hamster water dispenser things?
Yeah.
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 Basically, there's like those lining the walls because you just go up and fill up a mug as you wish to the just basically tsunami of dwarven ale that they have in reserve.
Oh, jeez. This is great. I'm actually going to not drink that much this time.
Good call.
I am.
It really doesn't have much to do with the last time, but
Crunk is do you think it's enough
still
to need
have
a con save or do you keep it under
Yeah.
control? Yeah? Okay.
No.
Fire away. And a 22 con save. You get
you hold.
you
your
get
liquor.
full before you get drunk.
You just can't hold any more liquid in your body.
Yeah. I'm just,
Yeah,
I
you're
walk
feeling
and
a little
you can hear
bit
it
sick.
sloshing.
Ugh, that's gross.
Gross.
So
Oops.
after the is there anything you want to do during the feast other than, of course, eat and drink?
No, I'm gonna let them have this
Okay.
before we get.
Unless anyone wants to do anything in particular, the almost fever dream of just perfection of the festival passes on, and now you find yourselves outside the dining hall, back near the inscriptions on the wall of Wynn's family lineage. And they're
Just
all
later that night.
later that night, all around
There's
particular
there's dwarves passed out in the corner and such,
Yeah.
but
this particular bit of inscription has been cordoned off and marked that this is the troublesome inscription. It's in Dwarven,
So
I don't know who reads it.
Name.
but it's you guys recognize the symbols from his signature in his book. This is Sebastian. It's a lot longer than his signature. It's got a lot of stuff added onto it. It's like, like
not
when a
only is it his
Spaniard
first,
tells you
middle,
their
and last name, but it's
when
all
they
of
tell
his
you their
titles and...
full name, where they're like, okay, well, I actually have like 6 middle names, and and then
Lucian
titles.
would take the time to ritual comprehend languages, so he can read the whole thing.
Yeah, and so it's this thing that reading it gives you a basic understanding of him, of who he was, and it's just his name. It says no more. It says it's connected to his 2 parents, so it's like drawn and attached to the part where they're written in to the wall, and so it tells you who his parents are, and then it's just Sebastian something something something, huge long name, the chronicler, the poet, the singer, and the passionate philosopher. It's just this long list of amazing things that they think he is amazing for doing and being. There's not a single one that views him in a bad light, even though obviously no one is perfect. Every single one is, if like you can see some of the other ones where someone obviously is like an angry person, it just says that they are, a vigorous and passionate person. It doesn't ever indicate any flaw in them, just the good part of them.
That's what the wall
Lucian's
is
going to
for.
take a moment and look, because I'm guessing just a little bit over from that is going to be Wynn.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit hard to find her because there is no, like, each one is given their own space, but there is no space that is untouched on this wall.
Yeah.
So you're like, there's that one,
Basically,
okay,
what you have
over
to
there.
do is like go back to where my parents are, and then like
And
follow
trace their
each
line.
line and hope that it's the one that's mine.
Yeah, and Wynn has quite a few siblings. So, but you eventually find Wynn, and there she is.
There I sure am.
Her title is shorter. For a couple reasons. First, they leave space for them to add more stuff later. But then they also can't show flaws. And so they had to be creative with language. They have her as the creative and the partier, which is a good thing in Dwarven culture, but like it's shorter and very, very choice with the words that are used. It's the lover of kin and the beloved sister and stuff like that, but very, very choice words.
Very southern pleasant.
Yeah.
Got it.
If dwarves were southern, they'd call me, "Oh, sweetheart," or what is it?
Bless your heart.
Bless
Your heart.
They'd say that.
The
to me a
blessed
lot.
of heart.
The blessed of heart.
Yeah. But you do see, like, it, especially with your insight, but you see that her parents definitely love her a lot.
And it's not like I did anything evil.
No. Because if she was actually like a actual evil dwarf, she wouldn't be on the wall anymore.
Yeah.
Noted.
But I just don't follow their rules quite the same.
Aha.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
give a damn about my bad reputation.
Pretty much. I'm the like a punk dwarf. I mean, I'm chaotic good where most dwarves are, what is it? Lawful?
Lawful good, lawful neutral. Like,
Yeah.
that's where they're sitting.
So,
Especially these dwarves in this world. Yeah.
So, I suppose you want to speak about Sebastian.
Who?
Yeah, this one. We
You remember it.
noted it. Specifically, your mother, Wynn, noted this during her morning prayer. She came in, as she does every day, to pray over her family. And found this intruder.
he's not an intruder. I had a brother.
You have
Don't. No. Sebastian is my brother.
two. Both of the parents look at each other for just 1 second.
You
What?
don't
No.
remember him. It's magic. It's powerful magic. Do we have the swords with us?
No.
No, they were locked
Oh,
away in the
hell
keeper.
no.
Okay.
Lord,
Okay, no. So basically, we fought something. We're not sure. It was Denise's mom? We're pretty sure. But there were these swords, and when you stab someone with it and you take it out, they do more than just die. They're forgotten.
If they're erased.
They're erased. Everyone forgets them.
And you see that neither of them are like they're shaking their heads like no.
I had a brother, and that's what happened to him.
How else would that name get on that wall?
We have
Show them the book.
Right, he is going to
show him
reach
the
into
songbook.
reach into the library pouch and pull out the book.
they take it.
I've
begins
got
to
his
read.
ring too.
It's so impossible. No one could have ever touched this wall and not been noticed. There is one ring
Exactly.
for every member of the family. Not one less nor one more. And it hits
truly-
your dad as he realizes and just begins to hug his wife and cry. And she just holds on to him and just can't get it to fit in her head. And just begins to, instead of think it, just feels it and knows that she has lost a son and she will never know who he was. And they both fall to the ground and begin to weep, holding each other as the family, close and not as close, begin to just huddle and gather around them and share in their sadness. Many of them, even before the Blades, didn't really know Sebastian, but they all gather around because they don't know. No one knows if this was a person they never met or their best friend. And they gather together and all share in the sadness. And I don't know if you've been to a funeral where you have no idea who the person being buried is, but I've been there, and it's heart wrenching because you're like, oh, I want to care, and and so those of you who do feel, you feel it again just as bad as it was back when you first learned, and those of you who don't feel just nothing, and you're just watching a dozen people weeping their hearts out in front of you.
Lucian's gonna hold it together better this time.
All right.
And wait until they have gotten this and cried and are ready to hear something.
They're eventually calm enough, but they don't get up. They're all on the ground, just they're all holding each other.
Then yeah, he's gonna go over and kneel down and very seriously to Wynn's parents. He died protecting all of us. He is an absolute hero. And we will remember him. We will find a way. There is a way to remember. So please, on that wall, add the hero and the unforgotten.
And Wynn's father immediately rushes over to the wall and grabs a hammer and his chisel and begins to slowly, with the same perfection and care for every single letter on every single name on this wall, begins to etch in the hero, the kinsaver, and the unforgotten.
We saw Sebastian, right?
You saw his corpse,
did.
yes.
So we know what he looks like.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So Krunk's going to think about that, and I want a statue of him in our castle.
Okay.
Wow, yeah.
A statue of him sits upon his throne.
Perfect.
Is there anything else before we close out?
Nope.
I'm
Oh no, I
sorry.
broke her.
I'm
Oh
sorry.
no. Oh crap.
It's okay. It's okay. Sorry.
It's all good.
Shogun's really good at making us cry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. Don't you dare be.
No, this is like everything. It's good. It's good.
All right. You were all given the guest rooms, except for Wynn. You are given your old room. The guest rooms are almost more impressive than a regular dwarven room because they want you to know and remember dwarven hospitality and the dwarven halls as being the greatest place in the world.
In the greatest city in the world.
What?
But yeah, so these rooms are enormous. They are huge. The bed could fit like a dozen people, and they could have their complete privacy from each other if they wanted. It's just enormous. You shush.
I said nothing.
I mean, there's plenty of room.
And if it were dwarves, it would be a lot more. But just these amazing, amazing rooms. You see this perfect mirror that stretches about 20 feet tall. Just huge mirror. And these laying out of foods and every thing that you could possibly need in this room is there. And you all get the effects of a long rest, obviously. Yeah,
That we
is there
really use
anything you want to do before we close out tonight?
Lucian is going to take that time and study Wynn's family lineage on the wall.
Okay.
He has time, so.
Yep. Is there anything particular you want to be learning?
You know what?
What's your
He
aim?
wants to start, like, looking at interconnections and ways that they'll be able to use that, especially towards the kings and the gods, the former dwarves who are now god dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like, learning
Trying to
the
find my
ins and outs.
connection.
And
Yes.
exactly.
So the way that they work,
The best way to have the conversations that will lead to, no, you should really be on our side.
So what you find is that all dwarves who are dead, their little like block that is reserved for them is full. And set out that that's everything that they accomplished in their life. That's what they're remembered as. And I imagine you inquire with some dwarves, because dwarves, they work on a complete 24-hour cycle. Since they don't see the sun most of the time, they just cycle around, different sleep schedules. So different dwarves point out to you that the dwarves who fill their block, who are great enough to get more than that, begin a new lineage. So that's how they figure it out. This wall is a single lineage. And it starts back at one of the dwarves who became a god.
Okay.
And then the next time a dwarf becomes a great king or a god, they'll start a new wall.
Separates out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And so it's you learn a lot about them. You learn a lot about her family. You know that it's rare that Wynn has done something rare, which is not worship the god of her house. She is worshiping a different dwarven god, which is a little odd, but like it's not unheard of. It's just a little odd.
Scandalous. Part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2.
But yeah, she worships
contacted me.
different dwarven deity instead of the dwarven king of her house, which is Hadal the Forge Master. Because I'm gonna be making up dwarves now. Because the dwarves were actual people, they're not as themed as like Olympian gods. He's called the Forge Master because that was what he was great at, but there are other dwarves who had similar expertise as him, other dwarven gods that have similar expertise as him, who have other similar names. Wynn's house is particularly known for their craftsmanship and religious devoutness.
How appropriate.
Yeah. So you get that. Anything else before we sign off for you guys? Krunk, you're in this huge fancy room.
Did we want to talk about the helmet at all with my family? Or did I just sort of like turn
that was a part of the festival, was it's like, yes, you brought this back, but they're going to give you a more official recognition for it a bit later. Because they wanted it to be there, because that just makes the party even better that a dwarven relic was brought back. Like, that's huge. And then they're going to do the official, like, recognition of it later.
Okay. That's fair, then. I'm good with just taking a sleep now.
All right.
Probably crying again.
If that's everything, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you, everyone who came in for watching. Thank you very much for participating. This is so fun. I love this party so much. This is so fun. This is the most fun I've ever had.
We love you too.
It's so fun.
That's all right, I guess.
Whoa! Someone's audio went really bad.
I think
who
it's
is
Jack.
that? Is that me? Capjack, can you speak? Oh,
Whoa.
Wow.
You sound like Donald Duck on helium.
Oh my god.
Your microphone is not happy right now.
Go watch the VOD, my friend.
Oh,
Go watch
goodness.
the VOD.
Okay.
Dear.
So let's
So,
say
anyway.
no, that's not better.
Keep talking. Just talk for a minute.
Oh boy. Okay. Krunk, why don't you sign yourself off? Where can we find you and more stuff that has you in it?
You can find me here Friday nights, Heart of Darkness, and here every other or second and fourth, whatever it is, Tuesday
Yep.
every other Tuesday. This shenanigan, and then my personal channel, twitch.tv/DanRand, is some changes soon, and I'm probably gonna announce what I'm doing with that tomorrow. But I will be streaming just differently, and also follow me on Twitter because that's where I have the most fun. Other than this, at DanRand.
Hashtag this hashtag is a mimic.
This DanRand is a mimic.
Win, who are you? What do you do?
So I'm Mei Sama-chan, which, if you didn't know, that means big sister in Japanese. Anyway, so
Did not.
yeah, that's why I picked it, because I'm the oldest. So anyway, I actually recently made a Twitter. So if you guys want to
Yes.
follow me,
Yes.
yeah, at Mimic Sama-chan. So it's just
Mimic
I would
sister?
love- yeah. Well,
I don't know.
okay.
I'm gonna drop a
I'll
link
tell you guys later. Anyway,
in the chat.
so yeah, follow me on Twitter. Yay!
There. Cool.
Oh, thank you.
And
There you go.
Mets, who are
Yeah,
you?
this
Where
big
can we
sister is a
find?
mimic.
Where can we find more of you and stuff that has you in it?
I have my own podcast called Service Desk, in which we talk about tech stuff for the beginner who doesn't really understand tech stuff. So we try to explain things. And then I play Zalara over on Beholder's Eye. It's a podcast as well. And here, I think that's all. Yeah. And you can find me as Mets Girl over on the Twitters as well.
Awesome. And let's test the robot. What you got?
Please.
Beep boop.
Dang
Okay, we're good now.
Oh, okay. So,
Oh, that
am
was hilarious.
Capjack,
That was
or-
amazing.
I can't wait to go back and watch it and hear exactly what happened there.
I'm gonna go clip it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I am Capjack, or at Captain J Cross on Twitter. I've been playing Lucian, the Tiefling Warlock, tonight here on Mimic Nights. On alternate Thursdays, this one upcoming is a Shadowrun, where I play my namesake, Capjack, the Orc Street Samurai. And opposite of that is a 5th edition Pokemon game, where I play the Poketaker. And then on Sundays, we're doing a quick 3 to 4 shot game being run by Throck, where we're playing pirates. So I play Matt Jack Thorne on that one. So yeah, come by, and all of these are on the Welcome to the Party channel. So come by, come join the Discord, have fun, and we are going to be having our Trans Lifeline fundraiser coming up either at the end of September or beginning of October. So definitely, if you haven't seen the sign up for that yet, I'm going to drop that in the chat right now. And sign up, come help us raise money for Trans Lifeline, and thank you all so much for watching.
Yeah. All right. And I am Shogun. I run Mimic Nights the 2nd, 4th, and occasional 5th Tuesday of every month. I also run the Shadowrun game, which is every other Thursday. That is a drop-in, drop-out game, so you can jump in if you got a little bit of time but don't have time to commit to a full game. If you contact me in the Discord, I can chat with you, set up your character, and set everything up and help you through that, because character creation is a little bit complicated, but I'll guide you through it. And yeah, what's the other thing I do? What else do? I do Pokemon on the other Thursdays. I'm a player where I play the leader of Team Crossbones, the evil Pokemon trainers who punch Pokemon and make our DM so very sad. Yeah, we were very mean to him last session. It was.
Oh yeah, I heard something about clipping through walls and inventing ice cream pizza.
Yeah. So he gave us a riddle, and we had to beat 4 other trainers to gain all the clues to the riddle. And we're like, nope, because our psychic guy can phase through walls, so we're just gonna do that instead. And
Nice.
yeah, we did that instead. So yeah, I'm looking at who we're gonna raid real quick. Ooh, I like these guys because their name is awesome. Is Dumpstat Charisma.
Ah, yes. Good guys.
So we'll do that. Thank you everyone for watching. Come and join the Discord, and we can talk to you there. It's a great place, and yeah, see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
watching.
Bye. Actually, there's the timer, so I do have to waste 30 seconds because I took too long. So
And down.
Lucian,
It's very important.
Capjack, break your mic again. That'll be
Hey,
entertaining.
I have no idea how I did it. That's the worst part. Is I don't know what I did.
Just
So, like,
jiggle it.
figure
Just
it out.
jiggle it and
Just jiggle it. Just play with it a little bit.
Oh. All right.
That's what she said.
See y'all.
And we're out.
Bye.
That was the last thing we said. Was just jiggle it.